Everybody, and welcome to ESO Daily. I am your host, Mystic Raven. All right, so I got a big announcement today, and if you're watching the title, it's true. I have subbed to Alcast, and I've always admired Alcast playstyle. Let me say this first and foremost. I've always admired Alcast playstyle. He's probably got one of the best recoveries in, PvE that you will see from a player. Hands down, his recovery. Anytime a mechanic goes down, his recovery on his rotation is spot. You can't get much better than that. And I've never subbed to him before because, I don't promote and I don't whatever with misconceived ideas. His builds are solid. He knows what he's doing. So there's never been an issue with that. But yesterday I subbed to this man because of this video. I respected his PTS with his Magic Templar, showing things how they really are. But this was 100% respect when he came out with this video. And I was like, that's it. I'm subbing to this man. He's always offered something to the community. There's no doubt about that. But when he said this, I was like, hit the button, sub. Just for sheer respect. I'm going to play the first 12 seconds. You guys will hear it and you will know why I subbed to him. All right? So let's play it.
So the term best in slot, I don't really like it. I just put it into the thumbnail because I knew otherwise nobody would watch the fucking video. There's a lot of good gearing options for both PvE and PvP. Zenimax did actually a good job in that.
Okay. He doesn't like the term best in slot. There's a lot of good options for gear. We've been saying that. Me and Zai have been saying that. And Alcast has always had great builds. Great builds. And when he said that, it's like he understands it. Alcast does understand it. He knows I can go ahead, do this, but it's going to cost me over here. Or I can do this and sacrifice this over there. And this man knows that. Right? For him to say, I don't like the term best in slot, because he knows what you're going to exchange, and for him to come out and do that is huge. It's massive. It is a confirmation. There's no best in slot. What you gain, you have to give up somewhere else. That's the way the game's designed. It's not linear. We've said that. And all of a sudden I was like, boom, click. Click, click, click. So yes, I am now subbed to Alcast because the respect has finally been there. I respect him as a player regardless, because he's skilled. He's a skilled gamer. And he knows his shit. So by him saying, you know what? I'm tired of feeding the players what they want to hear. I'm going to give them the facts, is what Alcast is saying. I'm going to give you the facts. You can do this, but over here you're going to do that. You can't do this. Well, okay. And that deserves respect. A lot of it. A lot and lots of respect. So I'm going to give it up, man. Every day of the week. And finally hit the sub. I'm going to change up a thing so I can get into the game here. So I'm going to remove this. But yeah. Total respect and shout out to Alcast. If you guys are... good morning, Mustang. Good morning, Rock. Good morning, Todd. If you guys aren't subbed to him, now's the time. Click it. Show the love, man. I'm a supporter. I am not a competitor with my fellow content creators. That's another thing I don't believe in. I'm not competing against them. We all offer something slightly different. I want to be comrades with my content creators because we're doing a service for our Elder Scrolls community and for ZeniMax. And I think it's better when we're, offering each something a little different. And it promotes this game further for our community. So, like I said, when I was on Zai's channel yesterday, he might be doing this event. If that's the case, I'm actually going to create an EU character today because I want to be over there for the Halloween launch. He's going on a week vacation or a week break or something, and I think he's probably going to do an event launch, and I hope he does it, because if he does, I want to be there, just to be there. I want to be there for that live stream. It'll be huge if he does it. So I'm hoping Cyanide does it. I'm really hoping, and it's XYNODE. If you guys aren't subbed to him, go check him out. So, yeah, I believe in, us coming together. Also, another news today, Cypher will be doing a stream on Twitch for Elder Scrolls. He's going to be doing some theory crafting, some PvP. He's going to be breaking out the magic of Dragon Knight. So if you guys are definitely into PvP and you guys want to watch one of the legends and the best in this game, please go check him out on Twitch. That's Cypher PK. I'm definitely going to give it up to Cypher. I'm looking forward to the stream. I'm actually going to drop in, check him out a couple of minutes because I don't have a lot of time. But I want to show love and support to, like I said, my fellow content creators, no matter where they're at, YouTube, Twitch, whatever. I'm going to give it up. And, I'm happy. I feel like my days, like my contribution to the game is finally, it's coming to fruition. And that's big time for me, because that's why I became a content creator. So we got white gold, Wayrest, and bless. So once again, I'm going to do the random. But yeah, guys. And I will also, I have to go sky shard hunting on my DK. I kind of switched them over. Got to take out the one ability. I think the one ability is almost level 2 and I can afford. Oh, nice. Oh, yes. I hope I have a good team on this. Oh, my God. I already have the headpiece, though. I don't need the headpiece. Well, I could use another one, but if it's good. For 175. I'm sorry, dude. You should not be in here. I hate to do it. Oh my God, no, no, no. No, 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 no. No way, no way. Fuck you guys. At least you kicked me out. I don't think I get a thing with that. That's so crap, man. What are they high? Are they high? I think they are. I think they're high. And I still have a cooldown. It kicked me. I was like 175 on bet white gold. Are you stoned? Are you freaking high as a kite? Oh my God. So fucked, man. I swear to God, now I'm on a cooldown. It's bullshit. I don't care it kicked me. I just wish I wouldn't have got a cooldown effect. If I get kicked, I should have suffer a cooldown effect on my requeue. Well, whatever. It sucks. Yeah, that sucks. Oh, I was looking so forward to it too. I was like, yes, yes. I was gonna love it. Oh well, screw it. Okay, I'm gonna take you guys on a little sky shard hunt because I got actually. I'm trying to get my crafting up on my DK, because I'm getting towards the end game, right? So I need to get, start collecting my Drowax and some stuff. And the funny thing about this is, the best way to do it is actually your rights. And so I kind of put a little DPS gear, whatever, setup on him. It's not like ideal for really content. I mean, it works. I mean, I got him in Julianus and Spinners. Yeah, I agree. They are changing up vets to 160 in PTS. It's not official yet that it'll go live, but I like the idea. And I think DLC should be 300. I honestly think that they should make that a 300. I mean, make it any level for normal. I'm cool with that. But literally, man, come on now. Seriously, hold on. I gotta go try my mount, then I gotta come back here because I gotta go get these sky shards. I skipped a lot of sky shards with this dude because he's a healer. He was a healer. I made him a healer. I did the first couple quests. Skipped a lot of shit. Right. Normal, white, gold. Actually, I don't have a problem with whatever on normal because they scale up until their vets. And once they hit a certain point, the scaling system helps them out get through normal. So I've taken people even 45, whatever, through normal. And they paid the DLC. They got the membership. I have no problem with it, with normal. I have no problem rolling anybody in a normal content on white gold or ICP or any of them, really. I mean, it kind of gives them a little background into the mechanics. Only problem I have is vet, man. That extra percentage loss from CP is really, really important. So, but yeah, I'm really kind of happy I get to show some love. When I sub to content creators, it's because of what they've offered the community and respect. It's a respect thing. So I'm like, Elola is probably, I admire this woman and what she offers the Elder Scrolls community, hands down. She was one of the first DK YouTubers. She was shown viability in builds long before I arrived. This woman is a legend in her own rights, and I was like, I'm subbing to her because it's so much respect. When Deltia left, it kind of, we started off on a kind of the wrong foot, but he when he made a video and before he left, before he announced he was leaving, about do this, you're not restricted, you're not going to be restrained. I subbed to him then, and it was kind of sad to hear him leave. But because regardless, he's offered so much to the community. I'm sub to Kevdwick because I find him hilarious, and I don't feel like I have to always agree with content creators to respect them. That's never been my issue. So I always feel like if I sub to somebody, it's not necessarily because I agree with somebody all the way. We're all human. We all can make mistakes. So I'm not one of those blind followers, like cultist or some shit. Not enough vet should be CP 300 normal, original level 10 normal DLC CP 160 vet. Yeah. I get what you're saying now. Yeah. Well, to be honest with you though, I can in a normal, even if they suck, I can pull them through a normal. But if there's, and I get what you're saying, if you have two DPS that are low, it's going to be hard regardless. So yeah, I get what you're saying. So and you're right. I'm just leveling up shit, fucking around. I got to get these sky shards, man. Give me a couple minutes and I'll get back on the dude. Ah, man. I was really hoping, though. I think the boss is right here, too. Yep. Boots and Night Mother's in pen. Eh. Yeah, but I'm trying to get my craftings up on my alts so I can get ready and gear up for my end game. Get that gold. Definitely a plus. Because I'm getting, you know, once I get up close to 600, I'll still be about 90 short, but right now I could start trying my end game and getting I think a little bit more serious, especially towards my bets. You know, I still have yet to get a guild on this platform. Debated about that. Yeah, I'm on the Mag DK. I'm not really ideally set up. I mean, I am on a DPS build, but I haven't leveled everything. So I'm even on dual destro just to help me level. Oh, sweet. Dolmen time! Oh! Let's go. Gotta love the fucking Night Blades. Don't have a monster set on, just the shoulders. So, like, ideally, I'm not set up for anything specific. Yeah, definitely works. Let's go. I'm hoping to get some plague doctors. That would be cool. Ooh, he liked me. He liked me a lot. Ah, crap. Alright. Oh, nice. No, that's not what I wanted. I'm still needing that inhale lifted, man. Shit. That's why, like I said, man, I didn't set up any fucking thing for DPS. And by the way, I love add-ons on PC. Like, right here's a prime example. Here's a lore book right in front of me. Coming up. It's just going to help me tremendously. Durzog attack. And then when you open up the map again, it's gone. Love these add-ons. On consoles, it sucks because I have to look everything. I go to Dolphy. He's got his site's a little dated, but most of the time it's mobile friendly, so I can grab up my phone and then just, you know, oh, here's a lore book. Oh, wait, here's my sky shard I'm looking for. Okay, I gotta kill the boss, and I gotta get the sky shard in here. Might have to put a heal. I got the D-gen. So long as I hit the D-gen, I'll be good. Maybe not. Oh, okay. Draw Essence still does it without the morph? Or maybe I did get the morph. Probably did. Not paying attention. Okay. I like that Zoss made Dolman's MOP dynamics to how many players are in the area. Easier solo, but also missed the challenge of old Dolman's. Yeah, I agree. On Xbox, I use an app for my phone called the ESO app, and it was only 99 cents. Oh, that's interesting. I wasn't even aware of that, Mustang. Good call out, man. Like I said, I'm not ideally set up here. I'm just kind of like I haven't done anything DPS wise. I knew I didn't have enough stamina. There we go. Oh, invigorating, but hey, whatever. There's my Sky Shard. I'll go kill these little bug bosses, and I'll get a skill point out of that. And I love that every area has a public dungeon, has an available skill point, has, you know... I mean, I like it. As far as environment goes and lore goes, it's still Elder Scrolls, man. You know, at the end of the day, it still is the Elder Scrolls. Okay, I was waiting for these. Got Axe and Night Mother. See, I'm glad you guys told me this. Why didn't I know about this thing? I should have been paying attention. Damn it. Well, everybody, if you ain't got the ESO app and you're on a console, get it. It's official. Alright. Blow up. One made it. Bullshit. Alright. Did I miss one set of group? What the? I did. Never mind. God, I should pull these dudes. There it is, skill point. Decisive greatsword. Nah, I'm not gonna need that thing anyways. I'd probably get rid of that. Because I want to make some money. Oh, I do need that one other piece here too. Okay. Can't even learn these things yet. There we go. A couple recipes. Alright. So I'm going to go back to Mournhold real quick. Scrap out. There's one more here. I think that's the only one left I got to get. Right. Yeah, I think I should be able to friggin' log back on the Mage Blade after I scrap this. Like I said, I'm trying to get those up there so I can do the rights, get some, my shit done, start taking this platform a little bit more serious. So, but yeah, guys, I'm really happy. I feel, and I want to thank you guys. Thank you guys, because you guys stuck with me. You guys came on, you stuck with me, you guys, supported me. And at the end of the day, I just wanted to really show what this game is, man. I really wanted to show what the game was. And when I came here, it was so toxic. And it's gotten so much better. And I'm so happy about that. Because I'm like, I don't think you guys really appreciate what the devs really give us, man. It's like you guys keep looking for a BIS system in a non-linear progressive game. Not you guys, but the player base. Did I need that? No. And I was like, it's crazy. It was crazy coming into this game and seeing all the toxic shit that was going down. And then all of a sudden, now everybody's getting on the same page, and it's good. It's good. Like, it's finally getting there, And now if we can, Alcast has always said, any class can heal. You have the capabilities. He knows every class can play any role. And I look for Alcast to really bring some more interesting points to the game in the near future. And that's why I'm telling people to support him, because within the last 6 months, his gameplay has dramatically improved, because he understands, if I have a high health, I can mitigate, but I have to take this into consideration when I'm speccing or what I'm going to be needing. And his ability to adapt to the game's changing, and his recovery, like I said, his recovery spot, it's good. And I think, the players who are now coming to see this is great. Lorebooks, Sky Shards, and Destinations are the top 3 add-ons for PC versions of. Yeah, I have them. Yep, I do. Believe it. It saves me time. It saves me so much time to have these add-ons. And then it's not even a question. When I have to look it up on the phone, it takes me still 3 times as long to look down where everything's on my compass, or on my map. I can even get a mini map if I want that'll highlight those, which is really nice as well. So yeah, I take advantage of it every day of the week, man. No idea why ZOS does not just make part of the game by default. I think part of it is the aspect to know to make the game, a little derated. If we saw where the Sky Shards and the lore books were, everybody would get through the content a lot faster. Part of the content is, being able to try to find it. Even the people who make, the add-ons have to initially find it and then code it, So their time, it takes them still time to save us time. So, kind of ironic. But it's true. Oh, almost there.
Take pride in your work.
Now, actually, during double XP, I'm going to be leveling up another Dragonite, Magic Dragonite. And I'm probably making this one a tank. Because I didn't like going with the Argonian as a healer, a DK healer. I like Argonian on Templar. Because they already have, like, X amount of Magicka. But this is killing me. Got to do a little bit more PvP on some shit too. Is it worth switching from Xbox to PC? I'm thinking about it, but I would have a lot to catch up on. Thoughts, anyone? Okay, well, to be honest with you, Mustang, I play both platforms. My main platform still is my PlayStation. Right? The reason I'm on PC, I have a friend who plays on PC, a real life friend, and I have a real life friend that also plays on Xbox. Now, eventually, once I get caught up on this platform, I'm getting close to the 1,000 subs, and I don't know if I want to become an affiliated player. That's a whole different ballgame for me. I could be making more money with affiliations, and I'm thinking about it because if I move on to Xbox, I'm already putting 6 hours a day in. By doing that, I'm going to be it's going to be like a full-time job, so I'm going to need some more support to do that. And people wanted me to do websites. I want to do websites, but right now I'm making next to nothing for monetization. So because I don't have enough subs yet to, validate the cost, and I want to. So, if a piece of advice I always tell people, I know a lot of people want to skip ads. Don't do that. That's how content creators get paid. We get paid from advertisements. Now, if they're over a minute, I wouldn't play them. But if they're 30 seconds, don't skip the ads. Let them play. That's how we get paid. You guys aren't. It's not coming out of your pocket. But when when advertisement companies, the entire thing plays through, or you do surveys, that's how content creators get paid. After discovering the same Sky Shards lore books, etc. for over 4.5 years, I prefer just to use Sky Shard lore book destination add-ons. I do on PC. Now, Mustang, if you do come to PC and you want to play on PC, that's a nice thing. The add-ons will save you time. So it's kind of nice. That's why I wasn't opposed to coming to PC. But you're going to need a pretty decent rig, dude. So I will tell you that. I mean, your GPU is what the main thing is that you need to worry about on this platform. Oh my God, I would love it if you started playing on Xbox and could help you out. Oh yeah, definitely. I'm looking within the next, like I said, if within the next probably 4 or 5 months, I'm hoping I have an Xbox One. And I think it's potentially going to be there. But the question of it is, it's going to become a full-time thing for me more and more. So I don't know if I'm going to do an affiliation. And if I hit that 1,000, that's going to help out tremendously. And I might go Twitch side on my live streams, because Twitch definitely pays a lot for the sub accounts and the advertisements play through. You can't skip them. So I could be potentially making a lot more money on Twitch, become an affiliated player. I've been offered affiliated, networks. So I'm really kind of interested. So we'll see. We'll see which direction it goes. Obviously I'd love to start a website. Would love it. But right now it's all about the money, man. You have to have money to, get these things up and running. Is there a migration through ZOS from console to PC? There is to move to console from PC, or there was. That option is no longer available, and you can't transfer. So no, but your accounts are linked. So like my account is. What to correct you? Okay, you know what I'm saying. ESO, like a lot of MMOs, hits the CPU heavy. Yeah, it's true. So if anyone wants to switch to PC to ESO, then make sure your CPU is up to it. The game hasn't been optimized correctly. Yeah, right. But I think, I'm running an 8-core process. I think Well, isn't like 8 core usually standard these days? Or is it still quad? Not saying the GPU isn't important, but not as important. That's all. Oh, okay. I still like, well, see, because the way I always set this up, like my friend, he's cross, he has a crossplay video card. So I forget the terminology, but he has 2 GPUs, and on Elder Scrolls, his GPUs will actually take some of that stress off of his CPU. So it's kind of nice as far as graphics and everything go. You know what I'm saying? But you're right. CPU is always going to be, especially with RAM. You know, I think RAM's a big deal. Like I got 16. I think I'm 16 on my RAM spec. I have 16 gigs RAM. You know, and I feel like it's not enough sometimes. But a lot of things, bandwidth, I can't control. I can't control latency. You know, I can't control the latency. And I think that's one thing that ZOS is hopefully still trying to work on. Because latency will go to shit in this game. So even if you have a top-end rig and you have latency issues, that's not on your end, you know? Well, you can't do shit about latency, you know? That's just the way it is. But I always suggest at least a 9 series video card. You don't have to put in huge in your video card, but I'm saying at least a 9 series. You should be rocking at least a 9 series GPU, and that's at least going to cost you. You might be able to get one under 100, but at least it's going to cost you a little over $100 for a first gen 9 series video card. And if you go all the way up, you can spend $1,000 on a GPU. I'm not suggesting you do it, but I'm saying you can. Especially Crossfire. If you're going to Crossfire your GPUs, I think 8 core. I would suggest 8 core CPU all the way. I run an 8 core processor, AMD, all the way. I don't. My old rig had quad core. It worked out really well for older games, but if you want to go ahead, try to get 8 core processor. Make sure your cores are unlocked. I don't think a lot of people go into their parameters and unlock their cores. They usually stay between 2 or 4 cores, and they're not unlocking those other cores. And I mean, you don't want it to overheat, but if you got a good cooling system and you can unlock the other cores, I'm always telling people to do it. Don't overclock it. I wouldn't say overclock the system, but get your other cores unlocked. You're going to buy a new PC. I wouldn't suggest doing it. Well, it depends, Mustang. If you're going to buy it on a credit, the prefabs are good, but usually you can, if you have money, you can build, and you know some things about computers, you can build a rig cheaper than buying it. Work to other cores, right? Yep. Quad core should be fine for ESO, from what I understand. The problem either way is that ESO isn't optimized for multiple cores, because it just uses only the one core. Oh, really? Is that real? Oh my gosh! So unlocking the other cores isn't benefiting whatsoever. Is that right? Oh my god, that's crazy. ESO runs fine on high settings on CPUs like Intel 2500. The game is 4 years old. Yeah, that's true. That's what I said. I think quad core works. I like my 8 core processor. Well, I'm still running other things in the background. So yeah, I guess if you're only playing, and if it's only going off 1 core, yeah, I guess I can build my own PC. But would it be cheaper? Yes. Yeah, I think Yam and Rock would tell you that. Yes. Building your PC is cheaper, but you want to look at reviewer ratings. Tiger Direct and Newegg. Newegg's got really good deals, on motherboards and CPUs. So I'll go with my barebone kit. Usually I'll buy a barebone kit through either Tiger Direct or Newegg. I'll look what's going on. They're referred sites, and I'll see what the bare bone is, what a good bare bone is. Rock and Asus is typically the motherboards I go with. So I always look for Rock or Asus. And then I prefer AMD, but Intel has really good CPUs. And then what I go from there, well, I used to run NVIDIA. I used to be an NVIDIA snob, but now I run Radeon. Radeon is cheaper. Majority of their graphics cards are cheaper than NVIDIA. And you can crossfire 2 Radeons at sometimes the price of 1 NVIDIA card, depending on what series you're looking at. So most MMOs use 1 core. That's just so fucking sad. If you have 4 cores, 1 would be used for the ESO, and the other ones are being used for background processes. Right. That's why and that's exactly it. That's why I unlock my other cores. I got other shit going on in background. So, yeah, it's true. That's true. So, that's why I unlock other cores, because I'm running a ton of other stuff in my background. So, I always unlock my core. But I don't overclock. I don't believe in overclocking your CPU. You can turn on .ini settings to enable dual core, but the game tends to run less reliable then. Was not aware of that one either. But if it's that, then yeah, I probably wouldn't do it either. But yeah, Mustang, if you were going to get a rig, I wouldn't suggest prefabricated rigs, man. Prefabs, if you're going on a credit card or payment system or through whatever, it's nice because they're already there. The problem of it is cost. Your cost is your GPU and your RAM can be expensive, but operating system is going to be once again an issue. But also, Newegg has CD keys, or the key codes that you can buy, and usually you can just go ahead, buy it. You'll need another computer to get your code. So, and then go ahead and install. You've been better off maybe just trying to find a copy, going and buying a disc copy, because you're going to need a disc on the initial, because it doesn't come with an operating system. Or sometimes you can find bundle packs that'll have the operating system installed into your bare bone. Hard drives, it's pretty cheap depending on what size hard drive. Anything over 1T, you're good. I always suggest 1T anymore these days. So push anything over 1T. Make sure your bus speed matches your parameters from your RAM, and you're good, man. You're pretty good. You can run, like they said, this game's 4 years old. You can run a little bit older rig. I have an older rig here. So my rig isn't literally like the up-to-date rigs. I'd love to buy some new hardware, but I would have to redo everything because of specs. So I'd have to go with a complete new bare bone to do it. And it can be expensive if you're going to get into like high-quality gaming. But graphically, the game's superior on PC. I'm not going to lie to you. I think Yamestein and Rock would tell you, graphically, you see a huge difference. Now, I have it on HD settings for you guys, so I don't know if who sees what quality of graphics when they're watching this. But I love the graphics on PC. And my friend, he's got a higher grade GPU, and watching him play Elder Scrolls on this is just drooling. 1600 would be fine. 350 mono, 16 gig RAM. Yep. 170 video card. Yep. SSD, and you're good to go. Yeah, that's bare minimum. And the 16 gig RAM, you can technically it's suggested 8, but I agree with Rock. 16. Go 16 all the way. I got 16. And my FPS, look at my FPS up here. My FPS is still only at 30 frames, man. Only still at 30 frames. My latency. I wish they upped this, but with everything, I still have 30 FPS. 350 Mobo, that is. Autocorrect sucks. Oh, okay, man. Thank you. Yeah, but I knew what you meant, man. But dude, yeah, no, those are the kind of specs you want to look for if you're going to go at Rock PC, and it doesn't take that long. You're going to have probably at least a couple of months. Like, I don't play as hardcore as I used to. Well, on this platform, I don't. But it doesn't take much time, man. Like, especially since they scaled CP gain, you can really get through it, like, really fast, man. Like, if you're hardcore. If you're more casual about it, then, you know, it's going to take a little bit more time, obviously. But honestly, man, it's doable. It's completely doable. What is this at? Oh, I'm almost have it, but I'm going to need some sustain. And I don't need this. Like, a lot of people ask me, why don't I run the Grim Focus in my typical rotation? It's simple because it gives the Minor Berserk. And if, you know, my healer's running their heals right, and I go down to Restoration Staff and the Combat Prayer, I'm going to get the Minor Berserk anyways. So a lot of people ask me, why don't, on my PvE builds, why don't I run, you know, that? It's simple. The buffs don't stack. So why am I going to run an ability that, yeah, I have to weave? Why, when I can, you know, and I'm going to get the Minor Berserk anyways. I've been doing it to level, but in my typical rotations, I don't run it. I mean, it's great. It's a great ability. It's great utility, too, and buff and everything. But yeah, Mustang, it's great. I love PC. I play almost every day, so I know it wouldn't take long at all. And thanks for the advice on a rig. Yeah, you'll save money. You know, and here's the thing. A lot of people will buy cheap pre-made rigs. Problem with that is, like, it hits initial specs, but there's internal graphics that are just terrible, man. It will eat your rig, man. It will kill your rig. Because a GPU, what it's doing, graphics, anything that's internalized or onboard features will put more strain on your CPU, right? So when I have a GPU in my system and it has a better quality, it takes a little stress from my CPU. Now, it's true, like Yamstein says, this game eats CPU, and it's true, and it makes sense. So with one core, I mean, yeah, it's going to be it's a pain in the ass, but, and I don't know why. I don't know if a game company can unlock multiple initial cores as running. I think that's more of a system thing. I'm not sure. See, this is where it kind of grays for me. I know how to build rigs. I understand coding. I don't have all the knowledge in the world about systems. If somebody brings a computer to me and says, "Can you figure out what's wrong?" Yeah, that's not a problem. I can do that. I can build a rig right from scrap, you know. If you're much higher, like Ryzen 17 1800, Intel 77 8700, and 1080 video card, you need to go 1400 and 4K monitor to stress the video card enough to get the FPS preferred. Yeah, and that's why I'm kind of jealous of my dude. He's crossfired. He has crossfire, and his FPS, he hits about 60 FPS. Pretty good. But his latency is the same. You know, we both have latency issues on this game. So his FPS though is higher, and his graphics is so sick. When he's in Craglorn and the water starts flowing, it's like I'm just like drooling. And I love the graphics on my rig. Like, the graphics on my rig look insanely awesome. And I'm like, but his just looks gross. It's like, oh my god. I want to crossfire so bad. Now, are you crossfired, Rock and Yam? Are you guys crossfired? I don't know if you are. I can't justify paying for the 4K TVs now. I do not have that type of money. Even if I did have that type of money, I can't do it. ESO has been designed from ground up for one core. Makes sense? Don't think they will be changing that anytime soon. Yeah, you're right. Are you crossfired though, Yam? I don't know. On video? On your graphics cards? Do you have two graphics cards firing at once? I have never owned a pre-built PC. Been building my own since the 80s. Yeah, like I've done a few prefabs. I've done rebuilds myself. I refurbished some PCs in the past. So as far as hardware, also using multiple cores doesn't mean it will be better. No, no, no. I'm just used to running things in the background. So right. So but you still recommend the quad core, right, Yamenstein? I mean that's pretty standard though, right? Quad. I think even 8 core is standard these days. I'm not sure. I haven't like checked out like the standard CPU cores, but quad core was at one time like standard after dual core was like being phased out. And I don't know if quad core is still standard. If quad core is standard or if it's 8 core is standard. Z80 days. Okay. So I don't even know what's standard these days. Like I really don't. Like to this day, I still don't know like what's the standard anymore for your cores and stuff. I haven't been on Newegg for a minute. Well, I was actually on there. I did upgrade some RAM. I guess not too long ago. But that's all I looked for. I wasn't looking at like anything specific other than RAM. My daughter needed some RAM, so I upgraded her RAM. She has my old rig, so which I paid over $2,000 for that rig at the time when I built it, and I wanted everything top of the line in that bitch. Oh shit! I'm dead. No! It wasn't me! No! Hit the wrong button. Ow! No! Yep, ESO look for individual core clock. 1 core speed is where it's at for the gaming. Why do I have this? Who queues this shit? It's easy. Shit, come on, man. One time I got through this entire dungeon. People couldn't figure out the last boss for fucking shit. As far as the ads one time, I was like, we get through Drainos and we're having problems on Belladreth? Is this fucking really happening? Oh my god! If you're gonna... No! 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 No. He doesn't have to leave. They don't want to kick him? Fine. Fuck it. You do not queue as... Ugh! I swear to God. Yep, ESO, fastest single core clock on the market at the moment is Intel i8-7. Yeah, that is a pretty nice CPU there. But you can save a lot using Ryzen's or 350 Amobo. 1070 NVIDIA GFX card for ESO. Yeah, I use a Radeon at the moment. Pretty sure quad core is still standard. Okay. Don't think Intel has a CPU that has more cores, but I might be wrong. Someone correct me if so. Trinity. I'm a CP 450 and I still hate Cradle of Shadows. I love Cradle of Shadows. I love the dungeon. It's not hard once you know it. Problem of it is when you take a low CP in there, like how much experience do they have with it? Plus, you know, they don't have the CP. They're losing some damage to begin with. It's so I'm like, but I know like 600s that struggle with Cradle, man. It sucks. That is actually overkill, but it makes a great gaming rig for all PC gaming. Okay. Yeah, I love Radeon at the moment. I used to be strictly an Nvidia player. Like, oh fuck no, but I would spend $800 on a video card. I wouldn't give a fuck. Like, but I knew it was going to last me for a couple years. It was like, you know, the investment was worth it. But now as I'm getting older and well, everything's kind of like, oh shit. Okay, I'll pay it. Good. Peace. Chill out. Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hit your dude. But I used to love. And of course I'm on cooldown again because these guys didn't vote him out. Morning, Lewis. What's up, man? Yeah, dude, like Mustang, if you were definitely going to build a rig, there are a lot of options out there. But as long as you're hitting like a, you know, you keep within that 16 gig, I think we all agree, you know, 16 gig. Even if the minimum is 8, go 16. You never have enough RAM. Never. Yam makes a good point. CPU quality is going to make, you know, whatever. Quad core standard, I think that's good advice. So if you don't want to put in a lot of money, go with the quad core. If you can get an 8-core processor, I have 8-core. It's still, I like the 8-core processor. I'm cool with it. I'm used to it. So, you know, go with the 8-core. If you can't, if it's within financial reasons. If not, quad core still works really good. Also, GPU, graphics card. Once again, it's all going to be about what you're wanting. You can go with higher quality individual graphics card, but most of them, man, you know, I'm still not crossfired. Like, I have my extra slot. I just can't right at the moment afford to pay for an extra video card at this moment. But it is what it is. And I'm really kind of sad that, you know, both of my friggin' dungeons have been whatever. It's bullshit. So bullshit, man. So I'm going to grab this Sky Shard. And like I said, I'm just... both of my queues, man. It's... both DLC dungeons and both with somebody under 300. I can't do it, man. I have tried rolling players under 300 in DLC vets. It always goes bad. Always. And half the time they're like, oh, this is my first time in the dungeon. Why the fuck did you queue vet? Or this is my first time in this vet. Well, no, duh, because you're under 300. You know, I can tell that it's because if you have done this before, the first thing that you would have realized is you don't queue this bitch under 3. First thing I hear when I open the stream is Mystic yelling at a Pug. Yes, Pug Life. Dude, Lewis, it was crazy, man. Mystic streams, so he is multitasking. That uses multiple cores, but the actual game is right. And Rock's right. It's 1 core. I use stream. I have multiple programs up at one time, and I have to because I'm a streamer, you know. So I have multiple things running in my background on my rig. So and that's why I was down for a few days because I actually had to get new thermal paste for my CPU. If that tells you anything. And I have an 8-core processor, so, and I have 16 gig RAM. I'm not crossfired, and a couple of my rig options are a little old. And I'd love to get a new rig. I would love to. I just can't. I can't afford it. I got kids, man. My friend, though, he just got done building a rig, and yeah, sometimes I get a little jealous because I'm like, oh, it looks so sick. I love when people are building. I'm a nerd. Okay, I will be honest here. I am the definition of a nerd. Because when I see like him building his rig, and I see the parameters on his system, it just makes you want to do it. You're like, oh, I want to build a new computer. YouTube is using a core, right? ESO is using a core, right? My streaming program is running another core, correct? And then I'm running a monitoring software that runs another core. So I have to have all these nice little toys. Like, and that's another thing too, like when I'm streaming on PC, it is a lot different than streaming on console. Like console sometimes get everything, the graphics quality, I don't know how people see it from on a PC standpoint. When I'm rewatching it looks good, but like on PC, I feel like it's a lot different when I'm streaming on PC. I can't explain every detail, but like I have control over my streams a lot better, my functionality. You can stream YouTube and Twitch simultaneously. Yep, I could, but I think doesn't Twitch have like this thing while you're streaming? Like they have quite a few streamers dual stream actually. Yeah, I'm aware of it, but doesn't Twitch have like something where you agree to them being, I don't know. Like, I think that's why I didn't want to do Twitch. There was some sort of agreement during my streams or some shit. And one thing I didn't like about Twitch is it doesn't save my streams like YouTube does. So you can save it and then upload, which is fine. You're allowed to do that. But then all of a sudden it's like Twitch doesn't categorize your streams. You know? I was like, wait a minute. I can't save all of my streams? I mean, that makes sense because it's a streaming channel. It's a live channel. I get it. But that's why I went with YouTube. I was like, okay, if somebody misses my stream, it's there. At least it's still there. So Lewis, I am now, if you didn't catch the title, I am now sub to Alcast. And if you rewind it, you'll see why. And I actually am applauding Alcast. I'm giving it up to Alcast. This man has definitely, earned 100% of my respect. I think that happens when you become a partner. You can only stream on Twitch, right? And that was something I noticed, and I was like, certain people I think struggle more than others. Like if I go to Twitch now, I can like make a post, and my subs can actually click over, and okay, and you have to have X amount of subs, right, on Twitch, which is whatever. But in all seriousness, to me, it's like, training. Go figure. Alright. Like I said, I haven't done hardly any of this shit. Yeah, like once you become a partner and you get that affiliation, I think it is that way. Because when I saw that, I was like, nah, I'll stay with YouTube for now. And then a couple of network have gotten a hold of me about doing some shit, and being an affiliated player. Let's talk about that. If I want to go affiliated, I can do that, and they will. Kind of like, oh, well, go check out this player with this game, and la 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 la, and it's kind of cool, but they'll give you backfeed on your content creating and suggestions and all this and that. Show this build, right, exactly. They start kind of telling you how to make your content. And I don't necessarily... The money's there, right? It's there. and it pans out in the long run financially for you, but you lose some of your, creative aspect. So to me, it was kind of like, do I want to become affiliated? I don't know at this moment. I like me. This is uncut. This is uncensored. This is who I am as a player, and I didn't do this for financial gain. I didn't initially try to become a YouTuber to become wealthy, famous, so on or so forth. I didn't. That was not the plan. I know a lot of players want to do that, and I get it because there's money there to be made, and I do make some money. So when somebody's like, "Are you a paid player?" I can't lie. I'm small. I'm very, very, very smally got incentive to do this now. It's very minute. It's not paying the bills. Let me be honest with you on that. It's not paying any bills, but it pays for my Elder Scrolls, which is cool. It's cool. That it pays for that. But at the same time, I'm not really making money. So my other income has to be whatever. And I can make probably more money if I become affiliated or if I do this or I do that. But I don't want to compromise my channel and make this something that it's not. And that's something I'm not willing to do. I'm never a person about money. I have people that I know who have money and they're miserable. I won't get into personal details. I am a poor man, but I'm humbly poor. I'm happy with it. But my kids have their necessities. We in this family we go back to those core values, and I appreciate my life for what it is. Yeah, off your last video, I started to peek in on Alcast video. Not a fan of some of his build videos. I think he's got solid builds. But yeah, I think everybody has their individual play style. And that's what I'm always promoting, Lewis, because I'm like, it was funny because a couple of you guys had mentioned, meta spider mentioned, grabbing some of my viewers and customizing their builds more towards their playstyle. And I kind of like that idea because there are other ways to build in this game and what you're trying to accomplish and still try to maximize your playstyle's potential. And I like that idea. Like if somebody's not weaving as much, they might want to use a set like Lich that will give them more recovery and then allow them to go ahead minimize their weaving because they had a harder time adapting to the weave rotations. There's so many different things that goes on. A lot of different options in this game, and I think that's one of those major things that I always want to take a look at. How can I help players become better? Look at this, guys. Look at this. I am DC, so I do not have all this shit unlocked, man. I do not have it unlocked. I have a lot of shit to do with this dude. Tons. But yeah, if you guys are a Cypher PK fan, I think in about 2 hours, he's going to be doing stream for PvP. I'm looking forward to it. Cypher coming back on Elder Scrolls with the Mag DK. He's a legend. And I always tell people, I give it up to the players who originally started the content creating in this game. Like, I know a lot of people think I'm anti-Gilliam. I'm not anti-Gilliam. I'm anti-stupidity, okay? I don't want players talking about shit they don't ever play. I don't want players, feeding toxic shit into the community and then making players believe that they can't do something because of. That's bullshit. I don't want players to become that. I do not want the community to be like that, man, and it doesn't have to be. So I'm always trying to tell people, man, play to your play style, play to what you want to do, what you prefer, and know that majority of the time you can get through a majority of the content without too many problems. One of the major things with this game is your rotation. How different does Warden Healer play compared to a Nightblade? After making my Nightblade Healer, I'm addicted to healing now. It's fun. Warden Healer isn't as combatant. It plays kind of like I guess like a druid in World of Warcraft, if you know what I mean. Like Templar reminds me of priests, of the priest play in most MMOs. It has some hots, it has your burst heal, where Warden has more of a druid feel to it. It's a lot of hots, more hots with burst, with a small burst, and everything though with Warden is as far as just keeping line of sight. It doesn't play. You have the same Resto Staff abilities, and I love it because when people say Resto Staff, they automatically say, well, just put Resto Staff abilities in their healer. It doesn't necessarily mean they play the same, because your class, passive, and abilities contribute to how that healer functions in group play. Nightblade is combatant completely. Warden is much more range healing and position oriented. Yep, 100%. As a Warden healer, I have to play to the back. If I'm up, even if something's out of my line of sight or loss, what we call loss in MMOs, if it's loss, they're fucked. So I have to play more to the back, as in more healing roles. Nightblades, opposite effect. Nightblades, I have to be combatant. I have to be up in it to get the most effective heals throughout my hot rotation. My hot rotation has to be solid. It has to be solid. If I fuck up a hot rotation on a Nightblade and I'm not in the being combatant enough, and my hot drops, people will die throughout that rotation. It's just that simple, man. But it feels it's so like once you get it down and you're feeling that with the Nightblade, that's why I love the Nightblade. But DK, like I love it because DK is not position oriented as much as Warden, right? But the DK, because I can be left of center as long as I'm hitting my, my mitigation, then throwing, either my burst or my hot, people are solid typically. But DK, it's resource managing is more of a struggle with DK. But that's what makes it more rewarding in the end. If you can manage your rotation really solid with the DK, pair it with a Templar and a Trial, or even a Warden, people don't die. It just doesn't fucking happen. It doesn't happen unless that player's like spec like 16k in a vet trial. Like, oh yeah, I'm going to be spec 16k in a vet trial. Sure, well, why not? I love Argonian in water. Argonians in water rock. I swim faster than I run. Jeez. It's like woo 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 woo. I hate these wisps though being around here. And I'm hoping that in the future, ZeniMax does something more with like dots and PvP. Like right now, it's a joke for dots. Le'Veon Mitchell. Hi, I need help with the 303 and the character load. It put me back to the login screen a lot of times now. Okay. What ends up happening, Le'Veon? I do actually have a video. Let me take a look at this real quick. Let me see if I can actually see if I saved it. I'm hoping. So... All right. I'm actually going to go ahead, grab this feed. I'll post it in the chat. There you go, sir. Try that out. See if that fixes it for you, Le'Veon. Warden is kind of in between Templar and Nightblade heals. Less utility than Templar, but more utility than Nightblade, correct. And each of them is whatever. Nightblade only has one utility, and that is from, well, if you count buffs, combat prayer, whatever, but as far as a utility, solid utility, orbs, is it Nightblade's only utility, access. But Nightblades will out-heal majority of other classes and damage at the same time. So that's your sacrifice right there. Sacrifice utilities for DPS and heal, right? So a lot of people are like, well, yeah, I have no utility. With a Nightblade, you're not supposed to need it in a 4-man. In a group setting, you only need one healer to have utilities because like buffs don't stack and utilities are on global cooldown. Right. Also, your endurance buffs and intellect buffs don't stack. So once it's applied to the party, it applies to everybody. You don't need everybody. Yeah. Thanks, man. I appreciate it, Rocky. Link the fix in the chat. But yeah, definitely. You only need one healer with a solid utility in a trial. That's why I said you only need one Templar. If there's 2 Templars in trials, I typically won't run with them because they're scrubs. And people are like, why? They're not good players? No, I'm not saying they're not good. They're just scrubs. They don't know better. Right? They're sacrificing gain for no potential reward. And it's like, once these effects apply, you're losing now. Because I could be mitigating with the DK healer more. Because the tank doesn't throw up the mitigation as frequent. Then the tank actually has a higher mitigation shield that applies to the party with the Ignis shield if it's a DK tank. His mitigation shield will be higher than the DK healer, right? But the DK healer has to have it constant throughout his rotation, so that mitigation's constantly being applied throughout the rotation, where the DK tank is less frequent. Warden mitigation buff, what's it called? It gives protection and shit. Fuck. And I know which one you're talking about. It's the Frost Cloak. Frost Cloak. Right. So, Frost Cloak you can use on the Warden healer. So, say if you have somebody who has enough utility, right, on the Templar. You don't need a utility. You're still going to use your burst heal, but the one thing you're not going to be using maybe is orbs, because the Templar is running shards, and everybody else is running a dice sustain. You can sacrifice maybe ability, or let's say you're not running Ellie Drain. You don't need Ellie Drain on your Warden, right? You can put Frost Cloak in. Now you can mitigate the damage from your party. What that does is the more resistance they have, the less damage they take. And that's what I'm always telling people about healers. You have to know what the healers are bringing to the party. Frost Cloak will apply to everybody. Frost, not first, but yeah, I know what you mean. Your autocorrect hit again. But yeah, it's Frost Cloak. Oh, hold on 1 second. I'll read it after I get this bitch killed. Yeah. Since you posted your healing Sork build, I've been running that. What would pair well with that when it comes time for me to start trials? Well, the biggest one, and this is why I'm always telling people, Templars probably aren't going to get replaced. Templars have the best. Templars, what they're going to offer in trial is utility. They have the strongest utility. Now, essentially, you don't need, like, say if you run a Sork, Templar, Iran, in Vet Trial, good, solid. It's solid, right? It's completely solid, especially if the Templar is running Aura, and, you know, that Drain is applied, right? The Minor Magic Steel. Once it's applied, great. Wardens, you can run a Warden, and they're sufficient with their buffs. So you can replace a Templar with a Warden and add a Sork, but the utility isn't going to be as strong because Templar's aura applies to all targets, where Breach, where Ellie Drain has to be applied individually. But that's at the cost of no Magicka. And you're getting that debuff. So once again, it kind of is like, how do I want to play it? Becomes the question. But you can run with the Sork on Trials. You can run either a good Templar, and I wouldn't suggest pairing a Sork with a DK, for example. Your group would have no utility, next to none. So it would suffer for that reason. Same thing with Sork Nightblade. Your HOTS and your instants would be there, but you would also have your intellect buff from your sorcerer, but your endurance buff wouldn't be present. That's also essential, but at the same time, if like people are using individualized, like I do on certain builds, then your endurance buff's applied in your kit. But once again, you can kind of coordinate that around what's available. But let's say you have a you have a Templar DPS, a Magplar DPS. A lot of people don't like to run the Magplar because of the way the kit's set up for the DPS. But once again, if they're running a aura on that effect, like a support DPS role, then you can run any healers in your trial, and you would be fine. Yeah. DK healer is no joke. Yeah, you put a DK. I've done it. I have done it, and Useless has done it. I know DK trial healers. It's no joke. You don't underestimate DK Templar combo in trial. You don't. You just don't. It just doesn't happen. You don't do it. A lot of people are like, well, there's nothing in their kit. Are you fucking kidding me? I mitigate, then heal the difference. Now the Templar saves a shitload of resources, throws down the utilities, and pops burst heal while I'm throwing out the HOTS and shit. Are you fucking kidding me? Do I think Warden tanks can be main tanks trial? Yeah, all day, every day. Actually, Warden tanks and trials have more utilities than any other tank. So if your team is lacking in defensive, like say you're doing Halls of Fabrication bet, right? A lot of the mechanics in that has to be, it's just high-end DPS. So the two tanks that actually are more beneficial in those trials is DK because of the shielding during the mechanic rotation, and Wardens because of Frost Cloak, and then CC capability. The one thing that the Warden tanks offer is the minor maim with its frost ability. So when you put the minor maim down, and that's why I use choking talons and not burning talons on the DK, because I apply the minor maim to the mobs so people don't die from mob encounters. And same thing with the Warden tanks. I can mitigate and reduce and add the minor maim. Warden can tank trials. I've done it. Yep. I know, Rock. That's why I like you, man. You have so much experience and plethora of information, and I want to say first and foremost, I appreciate what you when you come on my channel. You're just I love it when you come on, man, because like Yam has been a blessing for me. You guys, I appreciate all of you guys so much, man. I should have went and done that little mini boss. You know, any class can do any role. The problem of it is, and it becomes this: which trials you're going to do, and what you're needing in your makeup, in your group. So if I'm running a Sork, I either want the Warden or the Templar. If someone says to bring in a Nightblade, I would get a Mag Templar DPS to throw on like an aura, and have their shard on their AoE for a utility rotation, effectively. So your doesn't get compromised. Essentially, you can even do that with the Nightblade DPS. Nightblade DPS, Mag Nightblades, you can actually run a full DPS rotation using their instants and replace the twisting with the funnel, and then you have an off healer. You have a support healer. GMs, did they have the Z inside a box by their name? If not, They are not the GMs and are imposters, right, and should be reported. Yep. Do not let people kind of bamboozle you. They'll have that Z right by the mark. Yeah, I really do appreciate my viewers so much. Yeah, Guildmaster. Yeah, it's one thing in World of Warcraft. I think they did get rid of, like, also that GM status. I used to be... When I say I was a GM, I wasn't a Guildmaster or a Game Master. I was actually a Grand Marshal. And that was a rank in World of Warcraft. There could only be 52 Grand Marshals per server in a year. It was weekly. And I loved it because I always told people, like, well, I just hit GM. And they're like, oh, you're a Game Master? And I'm like, no, I'm a Grand Marshal. Like, you'd see me with my gold gear. I'd be all decked out. People actually thought it was like a thing. Man, I can't get a break for shit. Am I heading the right way? I'm not trying to do the quest. I could do the quest in here, but I'm just wanting the friggin' the crap. Where in the hell? I hate this. This place is like a maze. Alright, hold on. Right here, bingo. I guess not. I'm trying to get this Sky Shard. I was hoping to. Shit. But both my randoms, man, were DLCs, and I can't do the under. Like, maybe 2 something I could deal with, but 1 something? Why are they queuing it? Never got into WoW. By the time I tried it, ESO and other MMOs were out. I found WoW pretty boring. Yeah, they've changed it quite a bit, too. It's kind of sad, actually, that my beloved World of Warcraft... Well, I know I've done trials in WoW, but I got sick of replacing my stuff for nasty fucking greens. Have orange gear, and then all of a sudden, I'm replacing everything with greens. I was pretty fucking pissed, to be honest with you. I was perturbed big time. DPS queues always take a day and a half. I actually get pretty good queue times. I don't complain about if I'm DPS. You know. I know usually most of the time it is a bitch. But like that's why I level healers and tanks. Afternoon Mystic running a lot of PvP lately, and I really enjoy my builds. Oh shit, wasn't paying attention. I was reading. And it's less than level... Oh, cool. Definitely, David. I'm glad, man. I'm so happy. You know, and that's the thing. Now, the heavy armor's taking a change on PTS. I don't know if that's going to be going live with the damage bonus. So, bingo, baby. After Lich King, I think WoW declined. Yeah, I left during Wrath of the Lich King. I'm not going to lie. That's when I left. I left during Wrath of the Lich King. I was pissed. I was beyond pissed, actually. I was so pissed when Wrath of the Lich King came out. I was done. Burning Crusades come out. I have all orange gear, right? Right? I did them all. I was there for MC launch. I did Nixia's Lair. I did friggin' AQ. I did Nax. All of a sudden, orange gear. I'm decked, right? On 2 tunes. 2 decked out on my tank and on my healer. Right? Well, no, DPS, sorry. Because I went heals after whatever. So my druid, DPS, kitty, decked. My warrior tank, decked. All of a sudden, right, Burning Crusades comes out. My tank replaces all of his orange gear with green drops. Green! Crap! Same thing with my little kitty. Then my roles change, right? So my once tank now is going to go DPS. Why? Because I have to use druid heals. And now the friggin' paladins are going to be tanking, right? So all of a sudden that whole fucking shit changed up. WoW has gotten so dumped down. It's the kiddie pool of MMOs. And now I can't even queue a dungeon. So I did a little take back on World of Warcraft. And I got the new, and it's kind of cool because it does take after the movie. And I think for PvP, it still has its thing. In PvE, you know, whatever, at endgame. But what's the point of endgame? What's the point of endgame in that game? You tell me. Because I have to replace, I can get complete legendary gear, and it's going to get replaced the next DLC. It's going to. PvP, okay, cool. It's in E-games. It's competitive. Great. It's probably one of the most competitive Battleground games I've ever played. I'm 2-time GM. I was a 2-time GM in that game. That's harder than getting friggin' Emperor-C in this game. I don't think people even understand what a pain in the ass to be a GM, to get GM title was. I don't know if they still have it, but I was a 2-time GM in that game. I friggin' was competitive as a bitch in that game. To find out, it's like, okay, then we had arenas come out. Every fucking PvP queuer comes out during arena. Why? Because they realized how broke the fucking classes were. Like, how the game was fucked up. I'm like, why would you put arena in class-based game? Why? Now we got nerf bats heading everything and it's ineffectively, you know, fucking our PvE content up. I'm like, dude, man, always pissed me off. So, but World of Warcraft is whatever. And that's one thing I hate about linear progression. And because I had BIS. I did have BIS in the games I played. I had BIS at one time in Rift. I had BIS in World of Warcraft. I had BIS in those linear games. I had top tier gear. I had the best in fucking slot. And when I hear people in this game compare that, it's like, what in the fuck are you talking about? Like, do you know what it took me to get that shit? Months, not days or weeks. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. It's the linear progression. Once you get to the top, you have to wait for the next DLC, and you're right. You're stuck. Like, that's what became my problem, and that's why I did PvP. Once I PvP'd, I'm sorry, dude, but I need that Columbine. Once I would go, right? So I went PvP because I did all the content. So I did the Blackwing Spire until MC dropped. So when MC dropped, we did it. I got my gear, then I'm on hold again. So I PvP'd in between the times, right? And I, switch out my builds and that, and did everything appropriately. Once I got that all up, I was like, okay, I'll help this dude. I'm not going to let him die. See, I love seeing new players. This game still got new players coming in. I love that shit. And I love the trial, and I hope Zoss does that again. When they did that free trial shit, that was badass. And I really hope they continue to do that every so many months to a year, is, you know, offer players the opportunity to try this game out. First to get the node gets the node, no offense, right? Yeah, you know, I know sometimes people are just trying to level up their shit and that, but yeah, my resources are low on this platform. I love spending an hour farming in Craglorn. You pick up so much. Yeah, you do. It's funny because I have 9 tunes on PlayStation that do rights, and I go about through 300, almost 300 resources a day to do my rights. Almost, not quite, but well over a stack. Well over a stack. Almost stack and a half to do my rights. And it's funny because everybody's like, how do you got so much orange gear? And I'm like, man, I'm a rightaholic, man. You know, or Ritz. If you want to call them Ritz, that's fine. But I do them. I do those bitches religiously. And on this platform, that's why I'm trying to get the Sky Shards, because I need to start doing it more on this platform. I'm on this platform more than I have been with, oh, I had the quest here. Holy shit, didn't even realize that. You steal a node while someone is fighting the mob. Right, yeah, I don't do that. If somebody's doing it, I agree with you, Rock. If somebody's trying to get it and you know it, like he was trying to get that jute and the mob came up, and, you know, I'm going to help the dude out, you know? Now in Craglorn, it's kind of funny because I used to harvest the fuck out of, potent Urncrux, man, and my shit, because at one time, up until one Tamriel, you go in Craglorn, you knew who the good players were. They'd be there farming it, soloing these things. These things would kill the fuck out of you. You just die staring at the mobs in Craglorn. You know, prior to one Tamriel. After one Tamriel was like, oh, now everybody can get it. Boo! Boo! Nah. Are the rights worth it, though? I find it drains my resource more than anything. It does drain resources. But when you're talking about getting Droax and Tempers and Rosins, yeah, it is. It is. It is. I hate to say it. It is. If you have a lot of tunes and you're trying to get your fucking shit gold and you want it, your endgame shit to be pimped, you're gonna do it. And I go through a lot. I have to. Literally, I'll spend when I'm between my surveys. When I'm between surveys, I will literally spend 20K every other day. I can make 100K in a day, easy. You know, I can make 100K a day, but I spend 20K every other day keeping up with my my rights. Or my writs, and that's no joke. I don't know why I got this quest. Whatever. I do 12 standard writs a day and get 35 to 40K gold from them. The rank ones, yep. And that's the way you do it, man. And that's the thing you got to keep in mind. You'll end up buying resources because they drop the survey right. The surveys have drops have declined. That's true. But you'll make, if you do them all in your tunes, you'll make enough money to buy the resources to keep doing it. And essentially what it's doing is it's paying for the people who do farm that and is trying to make a profit. So it made sense to me. I hated when they declined dropped how much the surveys were, whatever. Dude got it first. Respect. Save the Rubedite folk, making usable gear. I actually no, I go all the way with it. Like I do the Rubedite and all that other stuff. I know you can do whatever and you still get surveys and it's true. You don't need to go all the way max to get your Drowax and your Tempers. So if you want to save your top end stuff, you don't have to go that. And that's what Rock's telling you guys, and it's true. It is true. Yep, you will have to buy resources. You will. I had that quest. I don't even know why I had that quest, but whatever. But anyways, guys, well, I'm probably going to let you go. I didn't mean to bore you guys with all this. I'm just glad we had a couple of things of discussion, especially helping Mustang out with the rig. Once again, I want to thank Rock and Yamstein for the input, especially for if you're interested in going to PC, if you're a console player. PC is great, and it is different. So I will tell you guys this. If you're a PvPer and you're going from console to PC, world of a difference in PvP. Some good and some bad. If you guys think your Vivek is like laggy during peak times, it's even worse on PC. But the PvP is so much better. Like, oh, I can't explain it. It's just, it's amazing. Really, it really is. It's amazing. I love PvP on PC, man. This game, there's everything firing at once. Like on console, you'll see swords like randomized here and a couple will keep. So much shit is going on PC on the weekends. It's so badass. Wasn't boring at all. Enjoyed the change. Oh, thanks, Mustang. I appreciate it, man. So, you know, the funny thing, yeah, because I guess I do the same thing, you know, when I'm whatever. And this tune, I have to farm up a couple of sky shards, unlock some shit to do his rights, and start getting, you know, taking this platform a little bit more serious towards my end game, and I have to. Getting towards that end game on this platform. I already have the capability. Everybody's decked out on my PlayStation. I only got one tune to work on during XP week. I will be working XP week. Once again, guys, take a look at Cyanide. Go over there. I'm hoping he does this event. I'm going to be creating a Euro account today. I have the accessibility to it, but I just want to show up for this event. If he does it, it's going to be badass. Also, here within the hour, Cypher should be popping on. If you're a big PvPer and you want to learn a couple of tricks, go to Twitch and watch Cypher PK. Always good thing. I would always tell people too, Fang Rush. I don't ever have Fang Rush's schedule, but Fang Rush always for group organized play, a lot of advice. Once again, he's a solid PvPer. He will give you the best advice towards group function play in Cyrodiil, in sewers, in battlegrounds. Overall, solid PvPer. Once again, Alcast. I'm really looking forward to a couple of his posts in the upcoming future, especially with things that he's going to be presenting to his community. I'm glad because we're getting rid of that toxic environment. Really quick, Yam, if you plan on putting together your own PC, first consider how much you want to spend. Good point. Think about any other games you want to play that are releasing soon or have released and get parts. Putting a rig together isn't hard, but if you need help, lots of resources around to guide you, or you can pay someone to put it together for you. If you don't have one to do it already. Rock says, on PC, if you get a chance to fight guys like Cypher, Deltia, rest in peace, and Gilliam. Yeah, this is true. For ESO, you don't have to spend that much. It doesn't demand a lot. But my opinion is to focus on getting a good CPU more than anything else. Thank you, Yamasign. I appreciate it. Lewis, is it possible to share my Warden tank build and maybe get some insight from you guys? My first build attempt. Sure, like I'll be on tomorrow, so that may be one of our topic of our discussions. Actually, I like that idea, Lewis. So tomorrow, if you're going to be on, why don't we actually go ahead with couple of your build ideas, and we'll get some feedback about build potentials. Actually, I could get even on PTS and kind of walk through it. That's a good thing. We'll actually have an interaction PTS tomorrow for build for your warden. I actually love that idea for content. So Lewis, are you going to be on tomorrow? A Mustang. I would be for ESO only. And how much can I spend to get a solid rig? Actually, minimal, because of the op system. You're probably looking at least investing a minimum of maybe 700, maybe. A good solid rig that's have way more, but you can upgrade. That's the nice thing. So you can plug your rig into your TV. So your keyboard, your mouse, your GPU, CPU, blah blah blah. Okay, if you're going to be on tomorrow, that's something we'll do, Lewis. So if a couple of you guys want to talk about warden builds, maybe potential gear, I'll get on the PTS tomorrow. We'll check out some gear parameters. We'll check out some abilities, some layouts. So I'll interact with you guys tomorrow on the warden, and you wanted a tank. So we'll work with the warden tank. So we'll focus in on a couple of the warden builds tomorrow. Warden healer, warden DPS, races, things like that. And I'll interact with you guys tomorrow about that. You could probably spend like 1K at most. Yeah, I would suggest 700 minimum, 1,000 maximum. Here's the thing, Mustang, before you say that's a lot of money, your rig will last you years, right? So it is an investment, but there's a lot of things you got to keep in mind what your PC will give you in the long run. It's basically an all-in-one entertainment center. You can hook it up to your television. You can go wireless keyboard and mouse. You can even grab Xbox controller. And since you are an Xbox player, the PC, the operating system, will sync with your Xbox controller. So you can play. I play on a PS4 controller. I have a program that allows me to use my PS4 controller, but the operating system for Windows automatically configures your wireless Xbox controller. So long as you get Bluetooth in your rig, you'll literally be able to use your Xbox controller, plug it into your TV, and go wireless keyboard and mouse, sit on wherever you're at, and play it just like your console. Also, ideally speaking here's another option for you, Mustang. You don't even need to go with a PC if you don't want to. You can go with a Steam box. So keep that in mind. Look that up. If you don't want to go with the traditional PC, look into Steam box. A Steam box might be perfect for you. Yeah, would love to hear other ideas for warden healer gear. Okay, great. Cause necro can be touch tedious. Well, especially with the nerfs. I like the necro because it pushes up the heals and gives me enough resource management from the initial get. So then when I'm recouping, I have it. That's the only reason I like it. But definitely, we will go over that tomorrow. Oh my God, that's not bad at all. And getting a new monitor as well. Why does everyone hate on warden DPS so much? Well, the thing about it is, They say Stam Warden's good, Mag Warden. Mag Warden, here's the issue. The rotation is what people are struggling with. Because you have to lay down dots and then get your burst. A lot of people, their timing, because the shocks and stuff, it can be a problem, man. It definitely can be. And I tell people that's what you're focused in on in this game more than anything. Rotation, solid rotation. Even your skilled gamers, end gamers, will sometimes struggle with adapting with new classes because of those rotations. And essentially, expectation from one class, going from one class to another, can kind of, make us biased to what's going on because we're not used to those rotation parameters. Yeah. SPC is kind of like the standard, and I hope in the future they're whatever, but useless, you make a good point. What else can we go ahead and pair with it? We'll go over all that tomorrow. We'll start off with the warden tank with Lewis. We'll go in maybe a couple things with useless, and I want to interact. I think this is a great opportunity to get on PTS, interact with warden, and see what we can do. Definitely. Steam box, I will look into it when I get home tonight. Yeah, look into a Steam box. So if you're more used to console platform, look in the Steam box. You might save a couple $100 going Steam box. So, and that's, and once again, Steam boxes are upgradable. Don't get low in Steam box. You want to kind of go with a mid. But Steambox are upgradable as well. You can go Alienware Steambox. You can even get some lower grade Steamboxes, and you can save a couple, some money on that. And Elder Scrolls works great on Steambox. Dive bombing, unblockable, undodgeable damage. Yeah, dude, I rip in PvP with Mag Warden. Love him. I'll add my build to Skill Calculator so you can reference it easier tomorrow and not rely on delayed YouTube chat. No, definitely. Go ahead and post. You can go ahead and do it and then link me it, and then I can pull it up and we can go from there. Birds for the win. Yay! But yeah, Mustang, if you do go with a hard rig, Yamstein definitely gave you solid advice. So did Rock. We give you solid advice. And you can't go wrong with a long-term rig like that because, you know, you can upgrade your components. It will last you a longer time. But Steambox might be your option too. So take a look at it. It might be something that you're interested in. You're used to console. But keep in mind, even if you go rig, the operating system will allow you to use Xbox controller as long as you Bluetooth. You'll be fine. So, all right, guys, that's it for me today. If, like I said, if you're a PvPer, get on Twitch. Go check out Cypher PK. All right? Once again, love you guys. Love my community. I want to thank everybody for watching today. And once again and always, have a nice day.